Dear Ismail Smith Waddell, during my childhood, no one really looked like me. When I turned on the TV, the closest thing to me was Dora the Explorer. When I looked around me, people of color who were active in our community weren't shown. For most of my life, I thought that being a part of my community was impossible. No one who looked like me ever had the opportunity to use their voice on a big scale. That's what I thought as a child. Seeing so many people of color after years of hard work finally being able to be a big part of our community, to me, is a sign of hope for the future generation of kids. People like you are letting kids know that being active in our community, even on a big scale, is achievable. You let us know that we can use our voices to get our message across. You give us hope. Sincerely, Ashley.
Dear Mr. Ford, I'm not sure whether to call you Commissioner or Mr. Ford. It will never, ever be Ron, not because you're not friendly like that, but because you were always Mr. Ford to me when I was growing up. It's been a hard year. Much of the time I've spent thinking about what it means to be Black and an elected official here in Lancaster County amidst issues of poverty and justice, healthcare and housing. There's this feeling of being pulled in several directions at the same time. It's been hard, but I know that it's not the hardest year ever to happen, or the hardest year yet to come. So I find myself wondering how you did it. Not just the elected office or becoming county commissioner, but all the work leading up to it, the whole process of becoming. You carved a path for a lot of us that are doing this work now. And we just want to know how you managed and if it felt for you the same way that it feels for us. You seem to know something, Commissioner, that was hard for a lot of us to learn. Namely, that leadership isn't about how an individual can put their name at the head of the list, but how a community can be empowered and how young people can envision opportunities for themselves and for others. You and my mother were from the same generation, and she was fiercely dedicated to the idea that each one teach one, that we have to lift each other up, that we have to invest in our young people. And Mr. Ford, I was one of those young people when I first heard your story. And now I'm proud to say that I'm the president of the Council of the City of Lancaster. It's been a hard year, but it is powerful to know that it is not the first hard year and that leaders and mentors like you made it through. Leadership, I've learned, is the capacity and the willingness to envision better for your community and then to empower that community to realize better for itself. Servant leadership is redundant. There is service or there is simple self-aggrandizement. We envision liberation, justice, progress, and equity for this community, particularly for our African American community, as we look forward to our own Independence Day. As Black people, we know that we cannot look forward without honoring those who came before. You are a lighthouse, Mr. Ford, and may we all be so to others. Sincerely, Ismail Smith Waddell.
Dear future leaders, in April of this year, I celebrated my 81st birthday. I have seen 8 decades of the ebb and flow of the civil rights and social justice movement. As a people, we have made great progress on all fronts. It, however, has not been a straight line. It has been 1 step forward and 2 steps back. With the election of Barack Obama, many felt that we had reached a point in our society where all people would be judged on their character, but not on the color of their skin. His election was inspirational to many, but to some, it brought out fear and hate. Over the past 4 years, we have seen politicians use the fear and hate to gain power. The fight for equality and justice never ends. My advice to you is, do not let negativity turn you into a negative person. Hate only begets hate. Study the real history of the African people. There is much we do not know. Discover your talents and develop those talents to provide opportunity for yourself and your community. Buy as much as possible goods and services from the people in your community. Vote in every election. Find a religious, spiritual foundation that brings you peace, understanding, and serenity. Finally, we are all members of one race, the human race. Let's work together to build a society based on peace and love. Sincerely, Ron Ford.